Okay. I think that someone that's passionate,
Good teacher.
to make a good teacher, you have to be passionate about working with young children and their families, with coworkers. And I think you have to have a sense of humor working with children. That's extremely important. You have to be very flexible. You have to be the kind of person that never stops learning, that will continue to take classes, attend conferences, read books. Things change drastically in this field. And if you started a long time ago and you haven't changed, it's not going to be what's best for the families and the children you serve.
So can you think back to when you first started teaching? I mean, you talk about the changes over time. How long have you been teaching?
I've been teaching professionally now 30 years. Before that, I was a stay-at-home mom, and I also did home daycare. So when I first started in this field, timeouts were the way to go, and that's what they taught us. And it just doesn't work. So now I do much, I do a more diverse type thing. It's more like a time in with me. If the child needs really guidance, it's more one-on-one with me rather than off to the side and not knowing what they're doing.
So can you talk about what your role is here at the lab school?
My role is kind of complex. I'm part administration. I oversee teachers. I do scheduling. I do the evaluations for the teacher assistants. I am the only, at this point, 2-year-old teacher on site, and I am a mentor teacher for the state of California. So I do student teachers, as well as teachers that have gone through and maybe would like some more training, more hands-on with the age group that I'm in. So then I will, also work with them in the room.
Do you have a preference in terms of what really brings you the most joy in terms of all of those roles?
The most joy is just being in the classroom. I really enjoy working with the children, and then I really enjoy working with student teachers. I really think that's great. They, they come in so scared and so nervous, and I can relate to that. And, to put them at ease and make them feel comfortable, bring out what I see in them as far as their strengths. I tend to look at them as when they first come in, where they are, and my main goal is to help grow them just a little bit. Sometimes I can grow them a lot, but on the average, just a little bit. I'm happy, and I think they are too.
Can you contrast that experience with how you have a child in your class? Is it really different or very similar?
Very similar. I always think that students and children both come in a survival mode. They're very unsure of where their place is, what they're going to be doing. They don't know my expectations. So to me, they're both about the same, and I think that, I look for the teachable moments with them, both, not only with the children, but the adults as well.
As a toddler teacher, what are the main issues that you deal with in terms of working with the parents?
Parents. I think probably the main issue is probably the separation. The being able to say goodbye and that I will come back. For parents, it makes it very difficult, and I can definitely relate to that. I didn't do that with my own children. I was a stay-at-home mom, and my son came at the age of 4 with me to school. So I think being able to convey that to a family that this is going to be an okay place for them to be. I want them to feel relaxed. I don't want to rush the process. I have to look at each family as unique as they are. Some are comfortable just coming in and saying goodbye and leaving. Others, not so much. I have to then, figure out a plan on what's going to be best for everyone. And I tell parents, above all else, I want you to say goodbye. I don't want you to sneak away and leave them. I said, that's not going to build trust with them. I want you to know in your heart that this is the best place, that you trust that I'm going to do what's best for your child all day. So it takes a little bit of time, and I tell them each child is unique. Some children will only cry for a minute. Others, I've had them cry for maybe 20 minutes straight. I said, it takes me a few minutes to get them involved in something, but I'm honest with them, and I'll tell them, if I can't, I will call you. And I also tell them, please call and check. If I'm not in the room and I'm outside, they will come find me. They will verbally ask me how the child is doing, and they will be able to see. And if this child is sitting there crying, they're going to tell you that. They're going to be honest, and I will be too. But I don't think I've ever, in my 30 years, ever had to call a parent because we couldn't get the child to join in with us.
That's pretty amazing.
Yes. I know, I'm trying to think back, and not only here in my other centers, no, and I always tell them, that sometimes there's a honeymoon period, and so they won't cry for the first while because it's like, walking into Disneyland, everything is ready for them. And then other times, that honeymoon will end within a week or so, and we might see a few tears, and then, I'll have a plan in place. Should this happen, this is what I typically do, and I'll, tailor it to that child. Other times they'll come in crying, and within a week they're fine. Depends upon, too, the amount of days that they're here that I find. If they're here 5 days, usually by the second week, they're pretty good at separating and leaving mom or whoever it is they're leaving. And the ones that just come the 2 days a week, I tell parents, please give me a month for them to fall in love with us and be comfortable here.
So when you talked about, well, you have a plan ready when children are having some challenges or difficulty separating. Can you be specific about what that plan is? I know it's individualized,
yes.
But can you share maybe an example, if you remember, what you had to do?
Okay. The plan might be that I know that they're coming at a certain time, and I'll say to the parent, do you need to leave right away, or can you stay for a few minutes? And what do you think is best for you? Sometimes the parents say, oh, no, I can't stay. Okay, so then I know that this parent is going to need to leave really quickly. So then I need to be there to greet them. And I tell them, please give them a hug, a kiss, and a goodbye, and say, I will be back. I'll see you in a little bit.